Hey y'all, it's Dr. Shamanda. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things mental health, personal finance, and overall strategies to live your best life. Alright guys, welcome and welcome back. If you're new here, I am a licensed mental health and addictions therapist here in North Carolina, and I specialize in financial therapy, which is helping people heal their relationship with money. I specifically work with women, high achieving women, professionals who want to learn how to get rid of the scarcity mindset and build wealth. Also, if they're dealing with some type of life transition, whether it's, starting a new job, parenting, being a caregiver, all kind of different things that we go through. Okay. So I love what I do, but y'all, almost a month ago, I quit my corporate mental health job, and I now run my own private practice. So in this video, I want to talk about some mistakes that I almost made so that you don't make them if you are considering quitting your job. Okay, so let's talk about it. Number one is so important. So important to know your monthly expenses. And I'm not just talking about, I think this is normally around this amount. Well, like you need to know what your monthly expenses are going to be. So one thing that I did was I got a pad and a pencil, and I was like, okay, how much is my electricity every month? And I added about $20 to that. How much is my car insurance? How much is my my water and storage, right? Like, how much do I normally spend on food? Like, I got real clear on my monthly expenses. I think a mistake would have been, because I didn't do this, but it would have been to just like wing it, right? Or just look at what it used to be like 5 months ago or something. Because, for example, I told you guys in the last budget video that I did, actually I told you guys my exact budget, so check that out. I just posted it a couple days ago. But like, my electricity has gone up, and I think that has happened for a lot of us recently in the last couple months. And so if I were to use my typical like $150 electricity amount, I would be short by $100, because normally right now the last few months has been about $250 something. So you have to really look at your monthly expenses to know exactly how much you're going to need to pay out and how much money you're going to need to earn as a self-employed person, so that you won't be stressed out about money. Okay. Now, number two is not having enough cash reserves. So cash reserves is like literally like liquid cash to be able to cover your bills and to live off of, right? Now, a lot of people, they're like, oh, I have investments, I can just live off of that. And I will tell you that's definitely, what I'm saying, an option. I actually just finished a meeting with a financial advisor, and we were talking about that and how, we don't want people to have to tap into their reserves or their investment, whenever they are making a life transition, which a lot of women have to do, and men too. So the best thing to do, or this mistake to avoid, is to make sure that you have those cash reserves set aside. Make sure that you know obviously what your monthly expenses are, and then you need to multiply that by how many months you think it's going to take to build your business up enough to cover that. Now, another thing with cash reserves, a mistake that I personally made, and I'm just going to be honest, is I wish I would have saved a whole year's worth of living expenses. I was like, I'll give about 90 days. I think I'll be good, because I got to go. So about 90 days. But realistically, I should have gone a year. I recommend a year for anybody. I don't care what your situation is, because life happens, right? And right now we are literally in the middle of a recession, which they refuse to call it that, but we know what's happening, right? Y'all see the prices of everything. Gas going up because now there's this war going on. So you want to make sure that you are prepared by having those cash reserves, so that you do not have to tap your investments, and you won't stifle or set yourself back when it comes to retiring early or building wealth, because you want your assets to continue to grow. You don't want to have to take them out. Okay. Number three is relying on just one stream of income. Now, I just did a video the other day yesterday, about my multiple streams of income. I have about 10 of them. Some are paid out monthly, some quarterly, some every 2 weeks, whatever, right? But you definitely do not want to just rely on one stream of income. I think the mistake that I made, I would say something I would do differently is I would have beefed up my other streams of income. So my bread and butter is my therapy, right? It's providing one-on-one sessions, working with clients on mental health or addictions challenges, and now financial therapy. But I would have really started releasing more of my workshops because I've always had those ideas. I would have started those already. I would have really beefed up my promoting my movie, my book, Wounded Healer. The link is in the description. Check that out. It's free. The movie is free on Tubi, and my book is on Amazon if you want to check that out, and also the DVD. But I would have started talking about that a little bit more before. You know what I'm saying? You want to beef up those other streams of income and not just rely on one, because things can happen. Now, you guys know, again, I'm being transparent. I work in healthcare. There's a lot going on in the economy right now. People are losing their jobs. And with loss of jobs, there's the loss of insurance. So thankfully for me, though, I don't even take insurance, so I ain't got to deal with that. But if people lose their jobs, it's kind of hard for them to, sometimes pay out of pocket for certain things. So I, work with clients who they typically have higher networks, and so for them, it's not a big deal. But if I was another type of therapist and I relied on insurance or whatever, it may not be so good. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to be aware of that. Like, do not rely on just one stream of income, okay? Number 4 is when you ignore the employer benefits before leaving. Like the 401k, I have a 401k, 457b, and a Roth. I made sure I checked those accounts. I actually ended up getting a $2,000-something bonus toward my 401k right after I left or before I left, which I was not expecting, but that was a blessing. But you need to know. And the reason I knew is because I was checking. I know they try to tell us not to check our accounts right now because of everything that's going on, and all you're going to see is red. I can assure you. But you still need to be aware. Before you leave, you need to know what you're going to do with your accounts. Are you going to be leaving it with that employer? Because you can just let it sit there and let them manage it. Or are you going to transfer it over so you can run it yourself and manage it yourself? I actually transferring mine over to a solo 401k through Fidelity. Or, are you going to cash it out? Which, please don't. Seriously. Try not to do that, okay? But, you need to just know what your plan is before you leave, okay? All right, and number 5 is that you want to make sure that you are being strategic when you leave and not emotional. I know a lot of people are like, forget y'all. I'm out of here. I don't care. But that is not a healthy way to look at it, y'all. I know. I get it. Trust me. I get it. But for me personally, I did a 45-day notice. I know. Obviously, I'm in healthcare. I'm a provider. I'm a doctor. So it's a little different for me. It's my duty to do that. And so for the first 30 days, I was helping my clients get new therapists. I was helping the parents, get new therapists. I was doing final sessions, things like that. And in those last 2 weeks, I was really just available to the team. So if you guys need me, do you need me to review resumes? I will make myself available. Because guess what? You don't want to burn bridges. And sometimes even if you leave on the best of terms, people are going to be a little salty because you just left. And, sometimes you're irreplaceable. I'm just kidding, y'all. But seriously, you just want to make sure that you're doing things strategically. You have a good plan. And you're not being emotional. I would say even with that, y'all, if we go back to the benefits thing, y'all know I got my colonoscopy. I had my doctor's appointments. I went to the dentist. I had a month's supply of my medication and things of that sort. So, just be very strategic. Also, make sure that you get your PTO. So, I did not get paid out my PTO twice. So, that's a lesson and that mistake that I've made twice. So, make sure you don't try to be like, let them add it to my paycheck and, my last paycheck. No, use your PTO. Literally. All right, so those are some mistakes that I almost made and I don't want you to make, okay, as you transition or even consider quitting your job and maybe going to, working as an entrepreneur, or, maybe you want to do it on the side. Just make sure that you have these things in place and start working toward these now, okay? All right, guys, I hope this helped. If it did and you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, my link is in my description. I offer financial coaching, and if you're in North Carolina, we can do a deeper dive for financial therapy, or if you are someone who just needs a good therapist to work on anxiety, depression, trauma, anything like that, I'm available to you as well. All right. I also have a workshop coming out for you guys who don't want to do therapy or financial coaching right now, but you need something to help you prepare your mind to build wealth and get to the next level. That is going to be available this Friday, March 20th. It is $19.99. I'm always telling y'all the price now because I want you to have your $20 ready, because this is going to be so good and you're going to thank me later, I promise. All right, guys, I hope you like this video. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.